love the brand. Hello beautiful humans and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm filming something I hope will be like a little mini series on my channel, which I've had kind of in the pipelines or in the back of my head since I decided to start making videos. So the idea is that each week I will take one makeup product, for example this week foundation, and put it to the ultimate test. I'm going to look at it from three important aspects. So for this week I would say the three most important aspects would be formulation, application and wearability. So I have three foundations in front of me, all varying in formula, coverage, and I guess you could even say application. I'm going to try these on my face all at once and see how they wear during the day. Most importantly about this series is I want to look at it from the point of view as a disabled beauty consumer, because let's be honest, finding your perfect foundation is hard enough without having the issue of hand-eye coordination or limited movement. I want to find the foundation that will suit you, both for your skin type and also for the practicalities of you wearing it day to day. Now that's explained a little better, hopefully, let's get into the video. I've already washed and primed my face. I've done my usual routine. I've used my usual primer. So everything is even, everything's the same. I've got the same sort of base to work with. And one of these foundations, actually two of them I've not used before, but one of them particularly I haven't even got out of the packaging. Oh my god, this is going to be horrific. I'm going to start off with the foundation I know the best and that I wear on a day-to-day basis. The Rimmel Lasting Finish 25-hour foundation. This is a liquid foundation. It's got a pump action, or you can tip it onto your hands, whatever's easier, whatever you have the ability to do. I'm going to use the same application method for all of these because I think that's the only fair way of doing it. My favourite way of applying my foundation at the moment is using my Real Techniques beauty sponge. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to split my face into three sections. So I think I'm going to put my Lasting Finish liquid foundation on my forehead, so this section of my face. This is going on really evenly. I should point out all these foundations are different coverages as well, or meant to be. So I want to see if they live up to that claim and how well they cover throughout the day. So I'm just blending this in. This blends so easily. This is a medium coverage foundation and that's all very lightweight. It doesn't really sit into my pores, which I like. I feel like it's a very good everyday foundation. This foundation retails for $7.99, so all these foundations are different varying price ranges. You can see if the difference in price affects the quality of the makeup, I guess. Okay, so I'd say that's about blended. So that's it on my forehead. It's gone on really smoothly. It's evened out my skin. I had like a little bit of redness here, which is evened out. You can still see like a little blemishy mark here. Usually I would just put a bit of concealer over that. I'm not going to use any concealer today because I want to see how these foundations do just on their own, just how they're meant to be. Apart from that little mark there, which I don't know if you can see, that has done a very good job. I like it. So the next foundation we're going to use is the Hourglass Vanish Seamless Foundation Stick. I've used Hourglass foundations before, but never the stick one. Now this retails, I believe, for £42. So this is the most expensive one that I'll be trying out today. Definitely a high-end foundation. This isn't actually my foundation. This is my mum's foundation. This is too dark for me and I am completely aware that this is not my colour. This is my mum's foundation. So it is going to be dark. I know it doesn't match my skin. Don't come for me. I'm fully aware. The lid comes off super easy and then you just got this twist up foundation. Oh my god, that is really dark. Now I thought stick foundations would be really good because if you spasm, they're hella not as messy. Like if you spasm with a liquid foundation, shit's gonna go down. Like this is gonna go everywhere. It's not gonna be pretty, and trust me, I have done that. Well, with stick foundations, if you jump, then it doesn't really do anything. This would be really good for people who have some sort of disability or illness that makes them, you know, slightly shaky, whether it be CP or anything that, you know, you've got a bit of an unsteady hand, or even if you're just not that steady with makeup, this is fabulous. So I'm just going to put a little bit of this on my hand to see what it feels like. Okay, it's dark. It's dark. Yeah. It's very full coverage by the looks of it, so I don't think you'd need much. I actually think this is a concealer as well. Blending might be a bit harder because it's definitely a thicker formula. I'm going to apply this with my right hand, which is the hand that's most affected and that I don't usually apply stuff with, just to see how easy it would be if you did have limited function in your hand to apply it. And I'm going to apply it to this section of my face here. So I'm going to swipe it here and maybe here. As you saw, it was so easy to put on. Like, you don't have to be precise with this because it's not going to go everywhere. Now let's see how this blends out. Hopefully it lightens up a bit as we blend. So again, I'm just going to take my beauty sponge and blend. Okay, so right off the bat, I'm having to blend harder than I would do if it was a liquid foundation. But you can see, even though I'm giving more pressure, I'm actually giving quite a lot more pressure, it's still blending out evenly. It's just taking a little longer. The coverage is intense. Like, I don't think I put that much on, and I have enough to do like half my face. Looking closer, oh my, that has covered everything. Don't know if you can see, but that's proper covered that spot. And my redness is evened out. I really like the finish. I actually didn't mention the finish of the top one. The finish of the top one is matte. This looks like it's got a tiny like sheen to it. This is that section of my face, and like I said, the coverage is spot on. It has made me look almost airbrushed. What even is life? It is a vanished stick. It vanished. So last but not least, I am going to use a powder foundation. I have never used a powder foundation in my entire life. This is the NYX powder foundation, and this is in the shade Natural. This is the closest I could find by the looks of it to my skin tone. I feel like it's gonna be the wrong colour. Oh, okay. Oh, I thought that was gonna be see-through and it wasn't. So I had my eyes closed and then it's covered anyway. That is not as yellow as I thought it was going to be. It comes with a little sponge which I might use to apply it, which is just underneath the foundation. It's still a sponge like this. So application wise, kind of getting out the container that it's in, I feel like it's going to be the hardest. This can be quite difficult to hold with a hand that's like not conventional. You'd have to be able to use two hands, which I think is going to be a bit of a faff. I'm going to use it on this side of my face. The reason I chose it is because I've got the world's biggest spot here and I want to see how it wears and how it covers that. Got some product and then just swipe it on my face. I don't know. Oh. First impressions is it's a lot sheerer. They definitely have lived up to what they say about how they're meant to cover. But this does claim to be a light coverage foundation. Let's see how it gets this spot. Okay, well it has covered it. It's not sorted out my discoloration or anything like that. But it's given my skin a nice like look to it. It's very natural. This is a lot easier than the stick foundation. So I think that's about as even as I'm gonna get it. I did actually build it up about 3.5 times, but the good thing is it is buildable, and I know sometimes with powder products the more you put on the more cakey it looks. This doesn't. This looks alright. First impressions of all of them, I'm actually not displeased with any of them. They've all performed well. They've all lived up to what they said they were going to be like initially. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to powder my face and finish off the rest of my makeup. I'm not going to put concealer on kind of my face area. I might put a little bit underneath my eyes just to brighten them, but I'm going to leave the foundations as they are to do their thing and see how they wear throughout the day. So let me go and do that and I will be back. Right, so I am back. I have completed my face and I've set everything with my NYX Matte Finish finishing spray ting on the NYX, so powder foundation side. As I was putting other products over the top, it was making the coverage sheerer and my spots come through a little bit more already. So everything's on, everything's set. It's currently 10 to 11 in the morning, so I'm gonna go do a few bits and I will check back in with you in a couple of hours to see how the face of different foundations is getting on. So it is 10 to 2, it's 3 hours later. I have stopped for a coffee. Hi. And I've just checked out my foundation in the toilet mirror and it seems to be holding up quite well. I mean, my spot's still very visible on the NYX side, which is here. Really, the coverage is pretty much stayed the same. Let's do the nose test, because obviously I wear glasses. So, okay. That hasn't actually left too much of a mark. What about the hourglass side? Okay. That's definitely left more of a mark. Can you see that on the bridge of my nose? And it's coming off that mark on my nose I had this morning. I did actually notice that the hourglass one wasn't wearing too well. It's just showing up my redness on my cheeks, which I'm really surprised about because the quality and the coverage of it when I first put it on was just impeccable. Like, it was so good. So I'm a little bit disappointed considering it's the most expensive foundation as well. One of my forehead's pretty good. This doesn't seem too patchy. It's kept its colour. I still look airbrushed. So I'm pretty pleased with them so far. And I will check back with you in a few hours. Bye. Hello, right, it's now nearly 6:30 in the evening, so it's been a good 7.5 hours since I put the foundations on. I am home, I've eaten. Foundations are having a few issues, I'd say. The NYX side, I had to think which one that was then. The NYX side is pretty much the same as earlier, that it hasn't gone patchy at all, but my spot is now completely showing. Like, I don't know if you can see that, there is no coverage on that spot whatsoever. My nose mark from my glasses is there, but not very prominent. You know, you're always gonna get a little bit when you wear glasses, so you know, in the scheme of a sheer foundation, I'd say it's wearing quite nicely. The hourglass side, which was a high coverage foundation, is still covered. My blemish here, and my redness isn't coming through as much. It is a little bit, so it's still got great coverage to it. However, this one's wearing a bit more patchy than the NYX one, and on my bridge of my nose that has worn away significantly compared to the other side. So while the coverage still overall is a lot fuller, it's wearing away a lot more unevenly. Finally, the rimmel, which is on my forehead, this again has gone a bit patchy and worn away in my T-zone. My T-zone went quite oily kind of here where the rimmel foundation is earlier on during the day. It seems to be that that oil has taken away the foundation here. I don't know if my camera is clear enough for you to see, but there's a definite line going on here where this bit's a lot patchier than here. So they're all having their kind of little issues, but no major dramas. I'm gonna leave it another couple of hours, probably till about 8 or 9 o'clock tonight. By that point, I would have had the foundations on for a good 4 days wear, and I feel like I'd be able then to give my final results. So it's now gone 9:05 in the evening, and I've got my rum, so let's get into my final thoughts. And then at the end of the video, the foundation with the most collective points is crowned the winner of the first. Why am I doing the Illuminati sign? Conspiracy theory. So considering these foundations have been on for like over 10 hours, to be fair, I'm quite impressed. And I should say, I haven't touched this up at all. I don't tend to touch my foundation up. I don't repowder throughout the day. I just kind of let it be. and considering that, it's lasted quite well. Let me start with the NYX powder foundation. It's a light coverage powder foundation, and it's on this section of my face. My spot here is completely uncovered, so some markings here now, but even though it has worn off, there's no patchiness whatsoever, which I really like. If a foundation's gonna wear, I'd rather it all wear at the same speed. I would definitely wear this on one of those days where you want a little bit of something, but you don't want a full face of makeup. So let's talk about the Hourglass Vanish Stick Foundation, which I applied to this side of my face. Strangely enough, throughout the day, this has sort of adapted to my skin tone and now almost looks okay on me. That's a good thing, right? I think that's a good thing. It's still looking very covered. There's a little spot coming through here. I didn't wear any concealer today because I wanted the foundations to kind of do their thing. However, this is a 2-in-1 foundation and concealer, so I feel like it shouldn't have really worn as much on my blemishes. It still feels really nice and it is still covered. I think if I'd used a concealer just for like the redness and the spots, then I think this would still look really good now. I do like this. Only reservation I have is, like I said, I don't think it lives up to the 2-in-1 concealer and foundation, and it is £44, so it's a bit pricey for something that I don't feel lives up to its claim. Lastly, ooh, I nearly dropped it. Lastly is my Rimmel Lasting Finish 25-hour foundation. It's definitely come away on my nose and here, which is where I get particularly oily, so I feel like maybe the foundation has reacted and broken down the foundation. It definitely hasn't worn as evenly as these two because there's more like patches around. It hasn't sunk into my pores at all. Actually, neither of them. This powder one sunk into my pores a little bit, but everything else hasn't. It has probably worn the best in terms of where it has worn, it's not as noticeable as these two. Does that make sense? What I'm going to do is I'm going to rate these foundations from 1 to 3 on formulation, application and wearability, and I'm going to rank it so I give my lowest scoring foundation 1 point through to my highest, which will get 3 points, and the scores will be somewhere on the screen. Let's start with formulation. In last place, I hate saying that, or kind of my least favourite with 1 point, is going to be the NYX foundation. The formula of it is very smooth, it feels very nice on the skin, it is extremely sheer coverage. Personally, it's just not a formula I get along with, and I don't know, it's just not suited to my skin type. And in second place with 2 points is going to be my Lasting Finish 25-hour foundation. This surprises me. I thought I was going to give this 3 because I've been using this for couple months now and I really like the formula of it. It's very lightweight, it's very medium to buildable coverage, which I like. I'm gonna give it 2 points, and the reason why, it seemed to react a bit with my oils on my skin, and I haven't noticed that before, and I think that's definitely to do with the formula of it. Maybe I'm particularly oily today, but something reacted, especially here. So yeah, I'm gonna have to give this second place. Which means in first place is Hourglass Vanish Foundation. Now I know I said this did break up a little bit and I stand by that, but the formula of this is so nice. When I put it on, I looked airbrushed, and I think that if you did have problem areas like me and you put it with a concealer, this would last so well. It's very comfortable despite the fact it's a very heavy concealer type of feel, and I love the finish. It's like a sheen. It's so pretty, and even now, even where it's worn away, I can still see that sheen to it, and it just gives your skin a bit of life. Next, application. Oh, this is hard. Okay, I feel really bad, but in third place I'm going to go with the Hourglass foundation, because although I said at the beginning of the video, which I still stand by, that this is the easiest to physically put on your face. However, with it being so kind of thick and this stick formula, it's also very difficult to blend out. I'm thinking if for some reason you're not able to blend out very well, or you get tired very easily, or you have limited hand function and your hand gets sore quickly, anything like that, then I think you're going to find this a bit of a task. Also, even if you just don't have the time in the morning to spend that extra couple minutes blending out, this is going to be a bit of a ball ache. For that reason, I'm going to have to put it in last place with 1 point. The second place with 2 points is going to be the NYX foundation. This is a weird one because it applies really well. It blends out really evenly. It feels really quick to apply. However, where it is a powder foundation, I don't know how to apply it. I feel like it's not great to hold, like I'm trying to hold it with my more affected hand, and it's a bit cack-handed and I don't know how to do it. And I think it's just because it's a powder formulation. I feel like I need to apply it like a powder, but I want to get the finish of a foundation, and I just don't know how to apply this. Which means in first place is my Rimmel foundation. This is a dream to apply either with a brush or a sponge. Again, you've got a multitude of ways that you can apply it for your hand function or your abilities. You can squeeze it, you can unscrew it, and you can pour. It's not too liquidy, which means it's not going to run off your face. So you've got the time then to dab it, get your stuff and blend it. Like, it's not one of those liquid foundations that you squirt it on and then it's like cascading down your face. You're like, Also, it's so easy to blend. It takes seconds. So if you're in a rush in the morning, this is amazing. So finally, we're looking at wearability. In third place, I'm gonna go with the NYX powder foundation, simply for the reason that it just doesn't wear with enough coverage, and I feel like to get the coverage I want out of it, I'd have to put like 55 million layers on. If this was paired with other foundations, I think it would come second, but it's gotta come third. Oh, I'm sorry, NYX, I love you. You do really great eyeliners. Okay, this breaks my heart a little bit. Can I have them both? Can they both be top? I'm gonna go second with the Rimmel foundation, purely because of this reaction that's had with the oil, and I feel like it's worn away in more places, and it's claiming to last 25 hours. I've had it on for about 10 and it has worn away, and so that makes me feel like if you wanted a foundation that would last for 25 hours, this isn't going to be it. Like, you're going to have to reapply this and touch it up. So for purely on the basis that this doesn't last 25 hours, or I don't feel like it would, and that's what it's claiming to do, I'm going to have to put this second. Although I love this, and this is one of my favourite foundations. Like, I really genuinely love this foundation. I still think it wears amazingly, but just in the scheme of what foundations I've got, this is going to have to come second with 2 points. Again, I feel so bad, but please still buy this because it's fucking bomb. This is so good. Which means in first place is the Hourglass foundation, which I'm really surprised about because throughout the day I kept changing my mind whether I liked it or not, whether it was wearing good or not. But look at it in the mirror now, it's definitely worn the best. It's definitely worn evenly, and no, none of my oils have come through here. If I just put a bit of concealer, then this would wear and last so long and look so flawless, because here, where I've got no kind of blemishes or my glasses don't sit, is still pretty much how it was this morning when I applied it. This is a proper full coverage, bish bash bosh, got the job done, got an in your face sort of foundation, and I think it's really, really good. If you've got that extra money to spend on a foundation, then definitely get it. I'm gonna give Hourglass my first place for wearability. That is the video, guys. I don't know off the top of my head who won, but I will add all the scores up and the winner will be on screen now. Yay to whoever won! I'm so proud of you. You won the first Battle of the Brands. Did I say Battle of the Brands? I'm gonna have a drink of rum for you. So guys, that is the first Battle of the Brands. I hope you liked it. I know this is going to be a long video and it's quite detailed, but I hope it gave you all the information you need. But I will put a before and after picture up. So I've taken a picture at the beginning of the day with all the foundations on, and I took one about an hour ago before it got dark. I'll put that up on my Instagram. So I'll put the before and the after up on my Instagram so you can really look for a while in close detail at the differences of those foundations. All my social media will be at the end of this video or linked down below, so if you want to see that, go check it out. Let me know what you would like me to do next in this series. We've got eyeliners, we've got lipstick, we've got brow products, anything you want to see, let me know. And if you like this video and want to see more beauty randomness, then subscribe to my channel because I post new videos every Monday and Wednesday, and I would love to see you around sometime. So I'm off to get this off my face, and remember, I have been me, so please always be you, and I will see you very soon for another video. Bye!